Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Connect. I'm Nikhil Chinapa and I'm right now sitting in Kathmandu with this gorgeous view outside my window on my way on a trek to Everest Base Camp. But this episode could not wait till I came back because as of recording yesterday, Bitcoin just broke through its all-time high and set a brand new all-time high, which means a bunch of my friends have been calling me and saying, is it too late? Have we missed the Bitcoin bust? Is it too late to invest in cryptocurrency and in Bitcoin? But you know what? I'm not the expert. Let's ask that question to the expert, the CEO and founder of India Ka Bitcoin Exchange, WazirX, the one and only Nischal Shetty. Hey Nischal, welcome back to Connect. It's such a pleasure to have you here again.
Pleasure to be here, Nikhil, as always.
I've got a great view outside my window. That's me in Kathmandu. Wow. I'm heading off on a trek, but man, this could not wait. I was so excited to see it happen yesterday. But for most of us to see Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high, this is not a surprise, is it? I mean, I was certainly not surprised, just excited that it happened.
Yeah, I think for believers it's not a surprise, but whoever's on the sidelines or whoever was thinking that Bitcoin's already reached its peak, I think it's sort of a surprise for them. But otherwise, I think for those who are into this whole ecosystem already, for them it's like a long time waiting. Now it's here.
It was a question of when it was going to happen, not if it was going to happen. So let's talk about the history of Bitcoin. Why do these bull runs, these amazing bull runs happen? What triggers them?
Look, I think end of the day, it's adoption. Simply said, more and more people are buying Bitcoin, and the fact that Bitcoin is limited, just 21 million. That's like the simplest thing. Now the question is, why are more and more people buying it, and what is happening? I think it all started with the whole halving that happened in May 2020 last year. And what happens in the halving is the demand and supply. The supply goes even lower. So the value definitely has to go higher. And after that, there's been a series of events like the pandemic lockdown that got a lot more people interested in digital tokens. Recently, you heard about ETF news in the US. That news has been it's been 3 years they've been trying to get an ETF and they finally got it. So everyone who was waiting for an ETF to happen so that they can get some exposure into Bitcoin, now they can do it. So all That's of these, amazing. I think hundreds of reasons, honestly.
Well, let's very quickly talk about what a halving is. Now, the way the Bitcoin algorithm works is that when people mine for Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoin available becomes half every 4 years. So for example, if there's 100 Bitcoin available today, in 4 years, there'll only be 50. In another 4 years' time, there'll only be 25. The first halving happened in 2012, and 1 year later, the first bull run happened in 2013. The next halving happened in 2016. And 1 year after that, the next big bull run happened when Bitcoin went from about $600 to almost $17,000 or $18,000. And the last halving happened, like you just said, in May 2020, which has led to this next amazing bull run. But this time around, there are other factors as well. Like you said, an ETF has just been announced or it's been legitimized in America. An ETF is very much like a mutual fund for cryptocurrencies. So people can invest in Bitcoin like they're investing in a mutual fund. And also, very interestingly, the pandemic, the US government was giving people stimulus checks and people started to spend this money on things that were a good store of value. And you and I have discussed this about how Bitcoin is an excellent store of value. So a lot of people started buying Bitcoin, which is what has led to this hockey stick kind of rise in Bitcoin's value. So these three factors, would you say are the main factors that have led to the current bull run of Bitcoin? The halving,
absolutely,
the pandemic, and the ETF.
Absolutely. And I think the halving definitely was like the trigger point, because you always need something to trigger this. And the halving was a trigger point because people realized the supply is going lower and the demand is going higher. And the pandemic was like sort of, what I would say educated everyone about all this.
Yeah.
And ETF is what is pushing everyone now. It's now there's an ETF, which means big people are going to come in, everyone wants to get in. And it's going to make it even more easier for people to buy Bitcoins or at least get some exposure to Bitcoin through an ETF. So I think that is what is triggering all of this right now.
I also think, Nischal, that one of the reasons that there is mass adoption happening, is the ease with which you can buy Bitcoin. 10 years ago, there weren't that many exchanges. It was very complicated to actually try and purchase Bitcoin, to how to set up your account and how to set up your wallets and things like that. But now there's so many exchanges around the world. There's many exchanges in India as well. And even on WazirX, you've got an easy buy option. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you really got the right point, which is in 2017, I was trying to buy my first Bitcoin. And it took me about a week, by the way. And the prices had shot up. And that is actually what led me to launch WazirX. And now we have this quick buy where it takes you less than a few minutes to buy a Bitcoin. And it's really easy because, for me also, I'm not like a trader by profession or someone who understands trading. I really hate those complicated charts and, and there are so many names to them. And quick buy is like, you just buy it. You want to buy, you just go and buy. There's nothing in between. And I think that's what is leading to this rapid adoption right now.
Well, the question that we want to ask on this episode of Connect is the question that a lot of my friends have been asking me. Have we missed the bus? Is it too late to invest into cryptocurrency? Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? What should we do right now? Diwali is just around the corner. Should I be buying gold or Bitcoin? So I'm not going to answer that question. You, as the CEO and founder of India Cup Bitcoin Exchange, WazirX, you need to answer that question. Is it too late? And what should people do? Should they kind of wait for the next dip or should they invest in Bitcoin now?
So, I've been hearing this, I think from 2012 or 2013, where, people around me have been asking me, is it late to buy Bitcoin? So I don't think it's a new question. But here's the thing, a simple statistic. Bitcoin is available to anyone on the internet. And the internet has 4.73 billion people. And today, there are about 150 million people who have bought Bitcoin. So you do the maths on, just 3% of the internet has bought Bitcoin. Is it really too late to buy Bitcoin? It's just numbers. It's so simple. We are all early adopters. And if you're looking at, let's say, even a 3-4 year time period, I don't think it's never a bad time. If you bought at the peak in 2017, you're still at a 3x return right now.
Right.
So the worst investment of 2017, which people thought in 2018 when the market crashed, has become the best investment right now in 2021. So I think it's just about timing. How long can you hold on? I think that's what matters right now.
I think that's a very important point because I invested in Bitcoin in 2017 as well. And I invested almost at the peak. So I am that person that you're talking about, and at that point in time, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that I bought it at the peak. And then it kept going lower and lower. It went down to $10,000, went down to $7,000. And the Bitcoin that I continue to hold is now valued significantly higher. We're at $66,000. So I think the key is if you've got money that you can invest for a longer period of time, there is no bad time to invest in Bitcoin. But if you're looking at a short-term return and you say, hey, listen, I've got some money that I can invest for 6 months, but after 6 months, I've got to pay off a loan. I've got to, pay for my child's education. What should those people do? Should they invest or not? 6-month window.
That's a tricky question first, and I think it's really difficult to time the markets. So I would not say that it's easy where you have a 6-month target, get into these, but there are ways to do that. But you need to do a lot of research. Just don't get in. This should not be a first month in and say 6 months. Maybe people who are into crypto for 1, 2 years, 3 years, they get it. They understand there's this whole term as altcoins that you hear, which is anything which is not Bitcoin is an altcoin. And the thing with altcoins is if you pick the right altcoins, they can really grow fast in a bull market. And we are experiencing a bull market. So it's all about, would you find the right altcoin? If you do, and there are quite a few ways to make sure that you're betting on the right one, then there is definitely, I've seen returns like 3x, 4x, 5x in a few months time. But again, there is also 0x that happens in a few months. So make sure that you do your research before you get into altcoins.
So I'm going to ask you a very pointed question. Is Ethereum the right altcoin? Because Ethereum is also, as of today, when we're recording this, on the verge of breaking through its all-time high. Ethereum is over $4,200.
I think I like that as a token because one of the first it's like the father of altcoins, led to the whole creation of this whole altcoin ecosystem. And they recently introduced this whole concept where they also started burning fees that you pay.
Yeah.
And so what has happened is their supply has started reducing. And that has again seen this whole price rise, and they seem to be on the verge of breakout. So it's definitely something I would say, you have to balance it out. It's more of a longer period altcoin. People have seen there's a history behind it. So it's probably a safer altcoin compared to the other more riskier altcoins.
Okay, so if you had a lakh of rupees to invest today, where would you put that money? How would you invest that in cryptocurrency?
So, not a financial advice or an investment advice, but I like to follow this whole 50 25 25, which is 50% into the most stable asset in an ecosystem, which is today Bitcoin, and then the 25, let's say in the top 100 or 200 tokens, and you can see the ranks on various websites like CoinMarketCap and all. And then the other 25, I would just go to town with it, find the most riskiest of projects, and if the founders check out and the idea is interesting to me, I'll just invest in it without worrying about where they are at what stage they are.
Okay, so if you had 10,000 rupees to invest, what would you buy? Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, or Flocky?
I think whatever whenever Elon Musk buys the next dog, I'm going to buy one of these because every time he buys a dog, one token will move. But honestly, I think SHIB is something that I've seen maximum people in India have gotten into. The Doge mania was sort of early for people in India. SHIB is what has really grown in India. So I would probably get into Doge and SHIB, maybe, a bit of both. 5 maybe.
Again, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. You have to do your own research. But I have a feeling that if Doge breaks through the 25-cent barrier, then there might be a significant upside to it. But hey, this is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. There's another interesting point that you raised about checking out CoinMarketCap and to see which are the top 100 coins and to see where you can invest your money. We've actually broken through the all-time high for market cap in cryptocurrency, well over $2 trillion, before Bitcoin broke through its all-time high. So is this, I want to talk about cryptocurrency in general. We know that Bitcoin's always going to do well, but the crypto market, what is leading to the overall growth in crypto's market cap?
I think
not just Bitcoin's market cap.
Right, absolutely. I think the fact that if you were to compare, let's say 2017 versus now this time, what has happened is in 2017 it was a lot of ideas, and everyone was investing in ideas. And suddenly in 2021, what has happened is these ideas have converted into actual products that people are using. So you hear the term DeFi, and there are billions of dollars. I think over $200 billion has been locked in DeFi, in lending and savings and all those products. Yep. So there's actual usage. NFTs, for example, there's actual usage. People are buying millions of dollars worth of total NFTs being sold on a daily basis. So the difference, I would say, is adoption. There is rapid adoption of all of these decentralized products, and that is what is letting all of these altcoins also go up steadily.
So coming to NFTs, I was kind of excited to see Salman Khan doing an NFT, but then I saw Bollycoin and I was like, not sure about that. What's your opinion about Bollycoin or about Bollywood getting into NFTs?
Look, I think everyone should get into crypto, and either through a token or an NFT or what you want, name it. But I think the most important thing is for a consumer to buy something. I think you need to understand it. Do not just get into it just because a founder tells you something, a celeb tells you something, or it's a trend. I think understand what you're getting into. That's what is, from the creator side. I think every creator should get it, be it Bollywood, sports stars, everyone. They've done such great stuff. They've got such a great following. All of them. I think everyone should have their own NFTs because that's a way to connect with fans. But I think fans should understand what they're getting into. I think that part is going to be very important. Otherwise, kudos to everyone for creating new projects. And see, this is hyper experimentation. Out of 100, we should understand 1 or 2 will work. The rest 98 will fail. But that's needed. That's how this ecosystem grows. Exactly. So yeah, I'm always excited when I hear about anyone new getting into crypto.
But as a consumer, as a collector, as an investor, always do your own research. That's very important. Nischal, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us for this really quick episode on Bitcoin breaking through to its new all-time high. Just to round things up, I want to ask you the question again so that everybody can get a concise answer. Is it too late to invest in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin? If not, why not? If yes, why? In one sentence or two.
Yeah, look, it's never too late to get into Bitcoin. The thing is, don't get out early. That's the most important thing to remember when you're getting into crypto and Bitcoin specifically.
Okay, Nischal, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. And I look forward to working with you more in the future and having more conversations. All the best with WazirX. And to everybody who's a part of the crypto community, join us for the ride. We're heading to the moon, or close to the moon.
Thanks a lot, Nikhil, for inviting me, and always a pleasure talking to you.
Cheers, man.